How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into 14P Fantasy. I am your host, Justin Wright. Today, we are talking start-sit running backs, part one. We're doing 6 today. We'll have another 6 coming out later today, so keep an eye out for that. Before we get into it, guys, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us over on Twitter. And if you do subscribe to the YouTube channel, make sure to grab a screenshot of showing, that you are subscribed and send it over to 14P_fantasy for a chance to win one of 2 signed jerseys. We are giving away a signed DeAndre Swift jersey and a signed Lamar Jackson jersey. So keep an eye out for that, guys. That is our second giveaway of the season here. Another Swift jersey earlier in the year. But check here for how to enter. And winners will be announced on 11/29 that Monday. All right, guys, let's get into it. First name on the list, we have Myles Gaskin versus the New York Jets. And any other running back, almost any other running back, automatically falls into the RB2 category. That's just how bad the Jets are. But Myles Gaskin is a unique situation where, yes, he's a starting running back, but he's just not very good, especially when he's with Tua. That's the issue. With Tua, he has 1 game over 15 points this season. He has 2 games in double digits out of 5, and he's averaging only 9.3 a game when Tua plays at least a half. Tua's a starter this week, so that makes Myles Gaskin difficult. Again, if they weren't playing the Jets, Myles Gaskin would be a sit. The thing that bumps him up to a flex, again, is the Jets are the best matchup in football for running backs. So we're really going to find out, just how bad is that Jets defense? Is it about to allow, a back-end RB2 flex play most weeks, Myles Gaskin? Is it going to turn him into an RB2, potentially an RB1? Or is Gaskin going to show us more of the same? So, again, I'm not thrilled to start him. If you have him, you may have to start him in the matchup. Again, it looks nice, but some of the underlying numbers there are a bit of a concern. All right, moving on. Antonio Gibson versus Carolina. He's coming in as an RB2 for us. Obviously, 2 touchdowns last week, 26 touches, no injury designation. That's the huge piece here. He looked to be fully healthy. He wasn't necessarily effective, but he scored twice. Again, Tampa's run D is phenomenal, as is Carolina's. So we've seen, even in a bad matchup, he can produce if he finds the end zone. Again, he caught 2 passes as well. In Carolina, I expect not a complete rout like they just did with Tampa, but I expect this game to stay close. So I don't anticipate him getting scripted out like we have seen in other matchups. So again, if you have him, you're starting Antonio Gibson. Don't get cute with it. A guy that I've had a question asked about a few times, A.J. Dillon or Antonio Gibson this week? A.J. Dillon. A.J. Dillon, James Conner, both those guys over Antonio Gibson, just 2 off chance RB1s this week. So if you have them, you'll play them over Antonio Gibson. Otherwise, you're probably rolling Gibson out there. Number 3, we have the other running back in the Miami-Carolina game, in the Miami-New York game, Michael Carter versus the Dolphins. And with the news that Joe Flacco is announced the starter, Michael Carter's an RB2. This offense should be a lot more effective now that Mike White is no longer there or no longer starting. Again, we saw what happened in Buffalo. It's a cake matchup as far as a defense goes, just a terrible team. So Michael Carter's going to get all the rushing work, should get some of the passing work. Again, obviously Ty Johnson will see some volume. It's going to be significantly less without Mike White because Joe Flacco is not a dump it off every single play kind of QB. But Michael Carter, again, slots in as an RB2. And I understand the last month, Miami is the most difficult matchup for running backs. There's no other way to put it. However, a lot of that is skewed by the players they've gone up against. Obviously, they had Cordero Patterson. He's been fantastic this year. But after that, they had a combination of Moss and Singletary, which I don't have any faith in. They had Houston, which is one of 6 weird running backs. And then they had that weird game script game against Baltimore where Freeman looked to be on a roll and then got scripted out. So I do think Michael Carter the Jets stay in this game and Michael Carter produces RB2 numbers yet again, as he's been doing for like 6 weeks now. Moving on, we got the other running back in the Washington backfield. It's JD McKissic. And he's very similar to Nyheim Hines in good luck guessing when to start him. You try and predict game script. We tried to do it last week saying, well, it's Tampa. Gibson will get scripted out. Tampa's in a, boat race them, and it's going to be terrible for Gibson, great for McKissic. Not the case. So I'm just not even trying to guess against Carolina. Again, I do think this game stays competitive, which never really bodes well for JD McKissic. He's a 2-minute guy. He's a third down guy. He is a garbage time, coming back from behind kind of player. I don't see that being the case with Carolina. So again, I'm just going to go out and avoid JD McKissic. Obviously, if game script goes the other way, this is going to be 100% wrong, but that is me planting my flag this week. All right. Now to Tennessee, we have Deonta Foreman, versus Houston. And he seems to be gaining momentum in this weird 3-headed committee. He gets pass catching work. He led them in rushing. I do think he is the running back to own there. Obviously, getting Houston is a great matchup. So a running back will have value this week there. Whether it's him, AP, or McNichols is anybody's guess. I am going to go with Deonta Foreman. I think he's a valid flex play, potentially even a back-end RB2 if he finds the end zone. So if you have Deonta Foreman, 12-team leagues, he should probably be in there as a flex. It's one of those things you're taking a chance and anticipating his role growing. Obviously, he was a part of our waiver episode, our 5 moves to make. Deonta Foreman is set up well to become the lead back finally for the Tennessee Titans this week. And to close us out, we have Jordan Howard versus the New Orleans Saints. The only stat that really matters in this matchup is the Saints allow 72 rushing yards a game. That's it, because Jordan Howard doesn't catch the ball. He has to fall into the end zone, and if he doesn't, you're looking at a terrible week again. And to add to all of that, Miles Sanders was just activated, or his practice window was activated, so he has 3 weeks to be taken off of IR. But now there's potential he could come back, and obviously if Sanders is out there, you want no part of Jordan Howard. But Jordan Howard, again, we've seen it 3 weeks. If he finds the end zone, he's viable. If he doesn't, he's not. Last week, he didn't find the end zone. I don't think he does it again, or I don't think he finds the end zone again against the Saints here in week 11. So I'm avoiding Jordan Howard for back-to-back weeks here. All right, that is all we have for you. 6 names. Keep an eye out for part 2 dropping later today. We're going to answer another 6 names there, some RB1s, RB2s, some sits, all that good stuff. As always, guys, remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel, drop a like. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. We'll obviously answer as many as we can. And, follow us over on Twitter. All right, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.